Welcome to another new project car on full boost that you're going to be seeing a lot of over the next, well,
however long it takes.
I guess.
But this one here is promoting the podcast.
It is.
So if you want more updates and more details, log onto your...
check out the podcast. We'll just put a link right here.
Right there. Yep, jump on that one, yeah, for sure.
So
this is it.
This is it.
This is it. We've got it. It's a Commodore.
Mang.
It's a Mang. It's a Mang. It's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
A powerhouse that we're going to do. I won't say something different because it's been done before, but we're gonna test the waters with OE parts and
some people might like it. Some people.
Yeah, no, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone's cup of tea.
We are going to call it Project
NOMANG. So that gives you an idea of where we're going with it. But regardless, we are planning on putting a Barra in it.
Say that again.
Putting a Barra in it. Now, like I said, been done before plenty of times. The one thing that we're going to do differently though, Lukey, is we're going to go and put a absolutely bog stock standard gas motor in it. Okay? Very common for...
But stock as in stock.
Stock.
Not stock, but I've changed X, Y, and Z.
No. Stock valve springs, stock head bolts, stock oil pump gears. They're the most common upgrades that people do, and we will eventually move towards that. Can see that happening, no problem, because we're obviously going to want to chase more power. But for the moment, we are putting a bog stock standard gas motor into this with a stock ZF 6-speed auto as well. So that's going to be the difference.
We want the car to drive perfect, like
a standard car.
You know, most cars, you've got a give and take, whether it's a 3-speed or you've got a noisy diff or whatever. We want this thing just that you hop in it like now and just drive it.
Just drive.
Anyone can drive it.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the beauty of it. The other thing is we've got a couple of great companies jumping on board helping us out. Now, when I say helping us out, we're not getting anything for free, right? We want to show what we can do on a budget, right? If you heard our one of our episodes talking about the engine conversions, we obviously touched on the Barra conversions. This is sort of the reason why we obviously done that episode, and we want to show exactly nowadays what we can do with parts. And if you haven't heard it, jump on the podcast and listen to it, and then you can understand and appreciate where we're going with this.
We'll have some extra stuff on the podcast that we just won't be able to video.
Absolutely, yeah. So make sure you listen to the podcast and keep up to date with whatever we're doing with the VS. At the same time, we're going to try video as much as we can. We're going to try break this up into 10 episodes or so.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, we'll try to do something like that and have some fun with the car. Once we finish the car, we're going to take it as far as wide as possible. We want to go drag challenge, power cruises, whatever events we can take it to. And as far as we can push this standard engine, we want to see what we're going to do. So this is going to be fun.
We're more interested in trying to use the power.
Yes.
And nice power, as opposed to so many cars, in a way, are not set up correctly. They've got too much power, they can't use it, and the car's just shit to drive.
Well, that's it. So that's why we're keeping the 6-speed. That's why we're keeping standard parts, so we can replace at ease. We're going to use a standard 6-speed ZF Auto. We're using a standard engine. We're going to go small, so we're not going high mounts. We're going to try to keep it as standard and looking as possible underneath. So we're going to keep standard FG manifolds, plain GDX style turbos, nothing wild. Obviously, standard engine's only going to hold so much. So we'll start off slow. We're going to take some baby steps. So we'll probably start on about 12, 15 pounds and move our way up, and depending what we need to do, valve springs and so forth. But like we said, we're going to spend some time and probably give a lot of guys some insight onto how to set the car up for the track and how to drive nice. So we want to use that power. Regardless how much power we make, we're not here to make 1,000 kilowatts and run 9-second passes. We're here to make 300-400 kilowatts and try to run a knot. So that's our goal. We want usable power that we can use not only at the track but on the street as well, with effort, ease of effort,
and
minimal effort.
Before we get into that, why don't we take a closer look
at the car? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You got to pop the hood.
I'll pop the hood. Let's pop the hood. What's under the hood? Now, I don't think anyone is prepared for the power that lies beneath this bonnet. We need that sound. That sound sample.
For our non-Australian friends, this is the old 3.8.
Yeah, the Ecotec Mang, the beast.
So what power is this model rated to? I had a VP. But
You had a VP?
I think this one made a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they were 147 kilowatts at the engine.
Gee, that's all right.
That's not bad.
Mine didn't make anywhere near that.
No, but you know what the irony is of all this? I'm known for modifying these.
Yeah, I know.
I'm known for beating Barras. You actually titled one of my videos, "Who Needs a Barra?" Apparently I do.
I've seen a few people overseas actually say, I didn't realise the Barra was a V6, and they're dead serious, think that that's a Barra in your car in that video.
How good's that? How good's that? See, well, for our American viewers, they can't appreciate the irony. But for our Aussie viewers, who know my history, unfortunately, I'm going to be taking this out and putting a Barra in.
But this thing runs, it drives actually pretty nice.
Yeah, well, I managed to get a full roadworthy and registration with this car, so she is legitimately on the road, ready to rock and roll. So it's actually a really, really nice car to drive. Nice, smooth, original 180,000 Ks, so nice, clean car, relatively low kilometres for its age, 95, 96 model car, 23-year-old car, not bad. So, is that 23? Yeah, that's right.
Was it 96?
95 or 96, what are we? 95, June 95, so yeah, it's not bad.
How come you didn't start with a Falcon? Just because you're known for the...
I'm known for the Commodores.
Yeah.
I don't mind these. I started with a VS.
And you and I like engine conversions.
We like the engine conversions. And I mean, like I said, we're promoting the podcast, yeah? So there's no use buying a Falcon when doing a Barra conversion of Falcon's pretty easy. Let's start mix and matching some brand names, mate.
Two classic
classic
Holden and 4 icons that are no longer with us.
Yeah, absolutely. But regardless, this will be fun.
What wheels are these, George?
They're VS Calais wheels. Polished Calais
they look
wheels.
good with some slicks on them.
No, we're not keeping those.
No?
No, I've managed to get us some into... Look, this car being an executive came out with hubcaps. So we're going back to hubcaps.
So we're going to upgrade from alloys to hubcaps.
To Steelies with hubcaps. So we're going to go to a 15x4 on the front, good cheese cutter design, and a 15x8 on the front with a custom offset to suit the standard wheel tubs in the back, and a 255 radial tyre for the street. So we're going to have killer traction at all time with this thing.
Show us inside.
I'll show you inside. Come inside. Let's have a look. It's a nice clean car. So this is what you got as a base model in 1996, mate, or 95. This is as good as it got. Well, it actually got better because this is a base model.
RTS suspension.
The irony, radial tuned.
Yep.
Yep, that'll be us. We'll have that.
Set up for radials. Yeah. Dash, mate. It's got everything.
I might get some Venetians for it too, I reckon.
Have you seen inside a brand new Dodge Ram pickup truck?
No, I haven't actually.
The same seats.
No. Really?
Well, they pretty much are.
Pretty much look like it.
You hop in it and you go, this is 2019 or what?
Well, maybe in maybe 1995 we got Dodge Ram seats. We didn't even know. So this is what we got. It's all standard. It's got pedal suspension in it at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't look like
No. It's already lowered. Yeah, it's already got like a sports rider system in it. We'll probably keep the spring height, but we're obviously going to be playing with the suspension in regards to shocks, anti-roll bars, and stuff like that. Getting the factory suspension to work.
All right. Well, what do you reckon we back it in and throw it on the dyno?
Let's put it on the dyno. Let's see how much power she does make now. And then we'll see how much power she'll end up making, obviously.
What do you reckon it'll make?
In my past history of dynoing these cars, anywhere between 90 kilowatts and 105, if I'm right.
Okay.
I reckon. I could be wrong, but let's see.
All right, let's go. All right, mate, do you want to just run through what we've got here? We actually do have an engine and gearbox.
Yes, we do. We've managed to get that.
It is going in the car.
It's all going to happen. So, we've got a silver rocker cover FG gas engine. Obviously, we need to change the sump. Some keen observers might note. So we need to put an earlier model BABF sump to suit the front hump of the Commodore K-frame. Standard gas engine with about 110,000 Ks, I think this one's got. So nice low K, ready for some abuse. FG G6E.
G6E.
Yeah, so it's a turbo, and it also says turbo on the side. So we've got a nice turbo ZF 6-speed. Which we'll be putting behind on this. The one thing we are running aftermarket is a converter.
I thought
yeah, so Pete from SDE has been really, really nice enough and given us a really good deal on a converter. So we'll go visit him when it's ready, pick it up. In the meantime though, what we're going to do is we'll throw this on the dyno, see what she does. Then we'll get it on the hoist, pull the motor and box out. We'll put this motor and box in as a dummy fit, and we'll design these mounts, get the engine centralized and mounted up. Then we can start bolting on some bits. So we do have some other bits as well for it. We've got the inlet FG inlet manifold, the turbo inlet manifold, turbo exhaust manifold, the heat shields. So looking at it when we pop the bonnet, it's going to look relatively standard.
Yep.
Obviously it doesn't belong in there, but still we don't want to go with high mount and big turbos.
We want to keep it looking...
Keep it low key.
Low key, yeah.
Low key.
100%.
So, and then once it's all mounted and ready to go, we'll pull it out, we'll tidy it up, give it a nice spruce up, bit of paint, clean it, make sure it's nice and tidy because we do want to keep it presentable as well. We are representing the brand. And then, yeah, we'll see what we do with some boost, I guess, and some high comp. E85 too. We are going to be running the car on ethanol. Because it's a gas motor, it is high comp. So we'll obviously go a lot.
What comp is in these?
I think it's like 10 something to 1.
It's that high, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
it's 10 something to 1. But
what's the, as a comparison to an XR6, a factory turbo engine?
I think they're about 8.5, 8.7, somewhere there. I think I could be wrong, but they're just under the 9 to 1 mark.
So this should drive quite good.
I think so.
Be punchy.
Very, yeah. Mostly with a small turbo as well that we're planning on running. So we'll run like a GDX 3582. We've got a couple of guys we're talking to for a turbo there, so we'll see which one we decide to go. But we'll be running an external wastegate on.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. I want to go to an external gate with a screamer.
No.
Yes, come on.
Screamer.
Yeah, come on.
There's nothing worse than a Barra with a screamer.
Are you serious?
I reckon they sound awful.
Come on, dude, they sound unreal.
If it revved to 9 grand, yeah, no worries, but they just sound like a washing machine.
No, they don't. It's a party. It's a party and we're all invited, trust me. We're putting a screamer on it. We'll do it, let's do it. It's done. No more questions about it. We're putting a screamer on it. It's got to sound good, man. Like, seriously, you don't want it to sound like it sounds like a vacuum cleaner when they don't have a screamer on them. Because don't forget, we're going to be limited on exhaust size as well because of the diff and the setup of the car.
How are we going on these?
All right, so I haven't really had because the motor hasn't been in there, I haven't had a good look. We don't know how much room we've got along the rack side. I would like to run a 4-inch dump pipe and then maybe go to a single 3.5 inch.
I would rather keep it half small. I can't stand noisy cars.
Yeah, oh no, it won't be noisy. It won't be noisy. We'll make sure we shut it up somehow, but we will put a decent exhaust system on it that obviously helps the flow because we do want to make as much power as we can because we're limited with a standard engine. So let's push this standard platform, see how far we can go. Yes, the popular mods are to do the valve springs and the head starts and the oil pump gears. We don't doubt that, but we want to keep this as stock as possible. So apart from the converter and even the diff, apart from a true track, an LSD, or maybe even just a mini spool, we're even leaving the stock Borg-Warner diff with the 308 diff gears, mate. So we're not touching it.
They're pretty good diffs.
Oh, yes and no. But for the power level that we're going to be, plus the 6-speed, so the power level plus the 6-speed, I think we should be right.
Yeah. All right.
Done. Let's run it up.
Let's run it up and
see what she does. See the real powerhouse.
George, how do you explain that?
That's bad. How do you do it? Seriously, we need to like redo that whole thing of my guesstimation because that's actually...
No.
Who needs a Barra?
This clearly has one of those power chips in it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, why haven't put the Barra?
Why put a Barra in it? This is all we need. Not going to make much more with the Barra. Project over. Done. Game over. Next.
Have you had one make that much?
I don't know, man. I haven't done a heap of them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do a heap of stockers, you know. It's always turbo this and that, so...
Made more than I thought.
Oh, more than I thought. Dude, I think mine made, like... Before I turboed mine, it wasn't on here, but I can't remember. Maybe it did make 120. I honestly can't remember. I thought it made less, but... Oh, well, anyone wants a healthy Ecotech, makes good power, go out for sale soon. That's actually not bad.
Perfect skid car.
Oh yeah, this thing would sit on limiter all day.
So you're a mile off. You said
way off.
95 to 105, I think.
90 to 105. Way off. Well, look, I wasn't too far off because majority of the run it sits at about 110.
You're saying these were maybe 147. I think you're right.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the supercharged V6s were 167 because at the time you had the 5 litres which were 185,
That's
165
right.
and 185. And I'm pretty sure these were about 147 on paper.
What's the difference between this and a VP? Because I had a VP and it didn't make anywhere near.
Yeah, the VP's got the earlier model Buick. The Ecotec was refined.
Oh yeah.
So this is an Ecotec, and unbelievably enough, I did not think they make that or could make that really. So, and this thing's standard. Maybe it has got a power tube. Maybe we're looking at something a little bit more deceiving.
She was pretty rich.
She was a bit yeah, wasn't she? That's the first time I reckon she's been opened in a long time too. So she has been sitting for.
I mean, a lot of cars like that, they just blow all the
crap out of the exhaust. Yeah,
because you don't really do that on the road in most of these cars. You just toggle around in them.
Oh man, when I drive this thing on the road, I don't think I've gone over $3,000. Like, it's just happy to cruise there, you know. So, but this thing's going to be fun. I mean, she's already a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing. So yeah, no, I mean, look, the Ecotec, mate, don't underestimate it. It is a great engine. I vouch for it because I've managed to do great things with these things. But times are changing. Engine conversions are the new thing. So let's get the dirty old Barra into this clean old girl.
So the next episode, hopefully, we'll have this engine out of it.
We'll start pulling it out.
And we'll be underway with getting the Barra in.
We'll prep that engine up, give it a good clean up, paint the block, tidy it up, put some new rocker covers and paint and breathers and stuff like that, get that ready. Then once that converter comes, we'll pull everything out and obviously put everything back in again. And then it begins. We've got engine looms coming, so we've got terminated harnesses coming from a really good mate of ours, who's going to do us a terminated harness out of an FG Falcon. Yep. We want to support the businesses that are supporting us, and obviously we want to try to keep it Australian based. So we're not after freebies. We want to try to give anyone who's following the build a real life budget, right? So, you know, we might be able to run 10s for 10 or 9s for 9 or whatever. Whatever we're going to do, we're going to try to do it legitimately. Like I said, we want to support the businesses that are supporting us, and we want to keep this industry going. So let's get a move on, put this motor in here, and let's get started because we're going to have some fun.
Let's do it.
Done.